All right, shalom, shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites. Talk about the 12 tribes of Judah. I'm sorry, the 12 tribes of Israel. I said Judah. 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. But before we begin, we want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, QADASH. Double honors to our elders, a great millstone that taught this truth through the spirit. Single honors to the elect, peace and justice to the one-third, confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. This brother brought a great topic. Our patience for our crowns. We say we're patient for our crowns in the midst of prophecy, because as there's so much turmoil and so many prophecies coming to pass, and then you have so many people under circumcision who's trying to pervert the gospel, and you have so many individuals trying to defame, and there's just so much going on in the world, especially economically, dealing with the wars, religious wars, lies, propaganda. I mean, every corner you turn, it's like you can't even really understand or believe what's going on. I saw a poll where over 50% of Americans don't even believe in the mainstream media anymore, right? So they can't even trust their own government. So there's so much going on in the midst of all of that. We know why we're doing this. We're doing this because we're waiting patiently for a crown of salvation. At the end of the day, when the Lord brings forth his judgment, we want to be exempt from that. That's why the Lord said, mark the men that sigh and cry for the abominations thereof. Because this is an abominable society. You know, we're not partakers of the society. We just have to exist in the society, right? So because we speak against it, like the Lord said, know that the world hated me before it hated you. Because remember, the scripture says the love of the Father is not of the world. So when you're looking for validation from people all the time, you're of the world. Because you really don't know why you live. You don't know you exist. Take all your status from you, then why are you really here? Right? So as all of these things start to become more decrepit and start to dissipate and go away, all we see is more and more of the kingdom coming. All of this stuff is crumbling. America's down under. They ain't talking about Australia. What's going on over in the Middle East? The entire world saying, man, listen, you started this for years and years ago. But it ain't nothing new. Russia keep talking about going nuclear. They already got the samurai out. They call it Satan 2. They said they could bomb any country in the West in 30 minutes. Y'all ain't listening to that. Y'all looking at TikTok. Y'all looking at Instagram. Even North Korea said they were talking about threatening Western countries. Your little AK-47, your little money, your little car, that don't matter. Let a thermonuclear warhead take off. What you gonna do? You won't have enough time for shelter when they drop a nuke on you. This country's fed up. They're not dealing with it anymore. All that prophecy is happening, and in our mind, we're thinking about what? Prophecy. And in the process of doing that, we're suffering because we can see they're clamping down more and more on the economy. They're clamping down more and more on your quote-unquote freedom. They're really privileges. They're taking that all away from you. We've been told you that before, but now that shit hit the fan, the shit's going to hit the fan. What are you going to do then? It's going to be a lawless. It's going to be Mad Max out here. You're already separated, far right, far left, binary, non-binary, Patriots, New York Jets. People separate over the dumbest things in the world, man.
Resident Evil is not far-fetched.
Resident Evil is not far-fetched. Right. So there's going to be every man and woman for themselves in that day. Even in a quote-unquote civilized society, look at how much treachery there is. Wait till the economy collapses. No food, water. You only get 3 days of food and water in your nearest grocery store. Right? All that sitting at home, going on Amazon, ordering all that shit gonna stop. Going to your favorite salon, people gonna be looking for you, tracking you, everything you do every day, so they can rob you and take what you got, because there are more have-nots than those that do have. There are more people that don't have than what you have. They're gonna come for what you have. And you can't fight you can't fight everybody. There's over 330 million people in America, right? But there are more guns than there are people. There are more guns in America than there are people. Imagine all the ammunition. All it takes is one bullet to take a man down. And you have millions upon millions, maybe billions of bullets here. Right? And there are more civilians than there are actual police officers or military personnel. They're going to be a day like no other that we're looking for. Matter of fact, can you give me Daniel 12:1? Beautiful, beautiful.
2nd Ezra 15, 18, and 19. But because of their pride, the city shall be troubled,
Right.
and the houses shall be destroyed.
Right. So when we say city shall be troubled, in the city, you're not growing vegetation. You don't have cattle here. You think about dairy, you think about what? You think about California, you think about Wisconsin cheese, things like that, right? You think about Idaho, the potatoes. You think about vineyards in Cali. You think about all of these vegetables, stuff that you get that gets imported to your city. It comes from somewhere that's out in the country, or like those, what they call them, flyover states. Those states in the Midwest, those states in the middle of the United States. A lot of that stuff comes from there. So there's gonna be trouble in the city because there's so many people condensed in such a small place per capita. And then on top of that, you're living on top of each other. That's against the scripture. It's supposed to be like what, 2 stories high, 3 stories high at least. Like a palace, you got like 15, 20-story buildings.
You got
it's a death trap.
You got robbers acting like they're pizza people, like coming to deliver pizza.
Right.
Fake food. They drive around and drop off food. Uber Eats.
Right.
Also janitors. Oh, we're here to check your filter, and when they're really gonna rob you.
Yeah, all that's happening. That brother's right. I saw that I even saw 2 actual delivery people get attacked. Now this brother said you got people that pretend to be delivery drivers, and then they end up being people that's attacking you. Right? So through all of this, through the midst of all of this, we seek salvation through the patience.
It says, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Your neighbor, go ahead.
But shall destroy your houses with the sword, and spoil your goods, because of lack of bread and tribulation.
For lack of bread and great tribulation, your neighbor is going to break into your house. He's going to take everything you have. Right? They say for a lack of bread, right? It say you can go 7 days without eating, but you can't go 7 days without drinking water at that. So within the second or third day, your body goes into a state of ketosis when you don't eat. Then after ketosis, after it's done eating all the glycogen in your body, it starts to eat away at the water and your protein in your muscles. Then after your muscles deteriorate, what happens is you're lacking in nutrients, your body's eating itself. Now your heart rate starts to drop. And your brain is so smart, your brain will try to preserve itself by stopping your heartbeat so that it can live on. So as your brain stops your heartbeat after you've gone like 10 days without eating or drinking anything, you just end up dying. You're in a comatose state, but your brain's still alive. So like the brother said, for a lack of bread, they've done studies on people when they gone like a certain amount of days without eating. I forgot the name of the project. They said men were hallucinating. Some men actually were biting on their fingers and didn't know it. So one man bit off his finger he was in a psychotic state because he didn't have the nutrients for his brain to function properly. He started eating himself for the lack of bread. So Americans, they can't even go 3 hours without eating something, man. Imagine them going a day fasting. People do fasting for health benefits, but just imagine them at least having to be forced to fast. And your body gonna reject so much BS you got inside of you. But for the lack of bread, man, the people break into your house. So they're gonna have no pity on their neighbor. So then your neighbor who saw your kids growing up from the time they was, crawling to now they're teenagers, yeah, he's eyeing your children too. Go ahead, Daniel 12:1.
Daniel 12:1. And at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth before the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Now that's heavy. It said there shall be a day like no other. They thought Alex Jones was crazy, man. You living in the prison state, man. Like I said, America's one big dog park, and everybody just running around like dogs thinking they're having fun. But I'm telling you, all they have to do is pass draconian executive order this, executive order that, seize all the transportation, seize all the water, all the faculties. Then what? If you want water, if you want to use transportation, if you want to spend, now exactly. That's what it is. It's an executive order to control all the resources, and then what they're gonna do, they're gonna tell you that you have to stand in line and you have to scan this and scan that in order for you to participate in society. Yeah, they already said that at the UN Council like 2 months ago. But you think these people know? They have no idea. The World Trade Economic, man, they got so many tricks up your sleeves, but because you're too busy watching Bad Girls Club, oh, Taylor Swift at the football game, like, you people have no clue what's going on in the known world. Because the elites of this society, the elites of this world are the heathens that's going to bring that great wrath. What it says, Satan know that he had about a short time, he shall bring great wrath. It's going to be a day like no other, man. And also think about it here in Florida. They passed a law. You don't need to have you don't have to pass a background for you to own a weapon. Like, really think about the world we live in, man. At the blink of an eye, boom, you can be dead. Right? We're talking about you're not able to go to your favorite clubs. You're not able to go to your favorite salon. It's gonna be like the book of Eli. Like, when they had them sanitizing wipes, these sanitizing wipes should have been like olive Olay bars. A sanitizing wipe. A little bottle of perfume during that time was gold. He had a travel size shampoo pack. We're talking about the book of Eli. Imagine what a bottle of shampoo, a travel size bottle of shampoo will go for in a time a perilous time. A small travel size bottle of shampoo will be like gold in that day.
Everything they took for granted had value.
Everything they took for granted. They took everything for granted that they actually had, but what the essential things, the necessary things, were the things that people would just toss away for nothing, like a ketchup packet.
That's what people do to this word, man. They take it all for granted.
They take all this for granted, man.
They do not know how precious this word is before all this happened. This is very precious before all these this destruction happened.
But it's only for the elect.
That's
why we out here. That's why the Lord said, by the foolishness of preaching to save those that do believe. If the elders didn't go out there and look foolish to those who were blind, then I wouldn't have had a chance of salvation. That's why we out here. Patient, we suffering because we know better, right? So we gonna do better. So, but we don't have to be out here for them. Oh, but the Lord said, yes, you do. So that's why we out here. What is this? The scripture says we endure our things for the elect's sake, right? You got something?
I'm dealing with how they're doing secret things behind closed doors and nobody's paying attention.
Right.
Psalm 64, 1 through 5. It says, hear my voice, O Yahawah, Bashim Yahushai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
That's heavy because Esau is the board of wickedness. And it says, hide me from the counsel of the wicked. That goes back to skull and bones, right? Or what you want to call Illuminati, right? But it's really talking about those very elite upper echelon families who have a certain bloodline, like going back to the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, even the Bushes and the Kennedys. All right, the Rothschilds and the Rockefeller, the Oppenheimers. All of those families, man, they're really the ones who's ruling the world. They know it. You know it. I think it was a Rockefeller. He said the worst thing they could have done was made the internet. Why? But it's exposing everything that you do. That's why the brother said, the Lord hide me from the counsel of the wicked.
It's a balance, man.
Right. That's why
it's coming the good and the bad. It's a distraction, but it's information. You know?
That's why the Lord said, humble thyself before the Lord. He said, because your enemy is like a lion seeking who he may devour. So when it says hide me, think about it. The Lord said, send you forth as sheep amongst wolves. A wolf is a predator. A lion is a predator. So when David said, Lord, hide me from the wicked, he's talking about from the lion that's seeking to devour all in his path, in his way. That's why I don't know why that fool, Yahushua was carrying a gun. Oh, a sheep with a gun, that's an oxymoron. A sheep is not a predator. A sheep is prey.
He lived by the sword.
To die by the sword. Right. It's inevitable.
Verse 3, Psalm 64 and 3, who whet their tongue like a sword.
Wet, W-A-T-T, means to sharpen. Who wet his tongue like a sword. That's why the Lord said, man can tame a beast, but a man, it's only one small member a man cannot tame, that's his tongue. All right, because the tongue can start many war. A tongue can start a spark that can set off a flame, man. The tongue is the only member that's unruly and that cannot be tamed, man. That's why the tongue is a two-edged sword. Because what goes out, that's the parable. They say it's not what goes in the man that what comes out. So people say, oh, you can eat whatever you want. It's not talking about that. Think about the bread of life. He said, eat my flesh. They were like, oh, it's not cannibalism. It's parabolic talking about the scriptures. It's called food for thought, people. So it's what comes out of your mouth, because you can learn good and evil, but if you apply it, that's a difference. But what you tell someone to do, they can come back on you, because you can be a hypocrite and say, hey, you shouldn't be smoking. But then now you're in the back of the alley smoking as well. That's a hypocrite. So what goes out of your mouth, you must give account for in that day. Matthew 12:36. Right? Go ahead.
Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Bitter words. Bitter, that's the prime example right there. There's power in the tongue. Okay, go ahead.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
That's those hidden counsels. That's the hidden counsels. Like, you can't see the propaganda. You can't see behind the lines, because I saw there was an audio. It was like back in the 60s or 70s. It's called "If I Was the Devil." You can go on YouTube and you can type it in, and it literally said how they were going to pit the Christians against the Muslims. They were going to pit man against woman, and then they were going to make good evil and make evil good. And it literally happened. But he said this decades ago. It's like, in order for you to have an advantage over your enemy, you must always be steps ahead. So these things that's coming to fruition is nothing new. It's already been. Like the whole CD19, the COVID thing, that's nothing but a variation of SARS. It's an H1N1 hybrid. That's all it is. You get what I'm saying? The economic collapse in 2008, in 2012. You keep raising these interest. You kept raising. Now you drop the interest all the way down, so that now there's no interest. So what you're doing, you're just producing more money. And I remember in the auditorium, there was a Chinese professor talking to his students. They're like about 16, 15. He was speaking in Chinese, but at the bottom he said the worst thing the American people could have done to themselves was tax their own dollar. Think about that. If I have $1, right, and then I say there's 7 cents from that dollar that you got to pay taxes on, now I got to take 7 cents from another dollar. So if I have $2, it's not really $1 I'm paying for, 99 cents I'm paying for. I'm paying $1.06 for it. So now the dollar I had in my pocket isn't $1, it's actually 94 cents. So you keep taxing that dollar. Next thing you know, all you got is toilet paper. And that's what they've done with the dollar. That's why they're trying to go digital. And they planned this from the beginning.
I don't think after we go digital, they ain't gonna be no more taxes.
It's gonna be, forget taxes. They're gonna cut off your bank account. With a click of a button. What you mean no more taxes? You don't exist anymore. They take up the face of the earth. Go ahead.
That chip, it can be behavior modification too.
Behavior modification. Think about this. You have people who are quadriplegics, and they use brain waves. And I don't know how they do it. Brain waves, and they fire up their neurotransmitters to send signals throughout their body to make their phalanges, their fingers move. Yeah. That's manipulation of the brain. So of course they put one in your brain. You don't want to act right, they shut you down. Like Judge Dredd. Think about the movie Judge Dredd and stuff like that. RoboCop. What do you think they get? They make a movie and they make it into real life.
Plain sight.
It's in plain sight. That's what you call subliminal. You call that subliminal messages. I present it to you in a fictitious matter, but sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction because it's actual reality. But because you've been taught a lie for so long, once you hear the truth, it's like pig Latin. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. But the truth hurts. Go ahead, up. You got more on that? Yeah, after that, you're gonna read James 1. Okay.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Right.
They commune of lying snares privily.
Yeah, they commune of lying snares privily. Because behind the scene, it's like this. The book I have, the 13th Tribe, that was a Jewish rabbi. He's pretty much saying, if the people that's in their land are actually the people of God, there would have to be a 13th tribe. And he literally went into the history. He went into the references and everything. He was a Jewish rabbi himself and exposed that there's no way possible they could be the Lord's people. Then they found him, his wife, and the dog dead in the bed because he pretty much exposed it. But the book's already out. So that's a prime example of them shooting in the dark as well. Because once you start to tell the scripture says, you are your father the devil. He was a liar and a murderer from the beginning, and the truth not abide in him. Lies and deceit is how America was built on. What are you talking about? The word devil just means slanderer. It's not some red dude with a trident in the ground. Devil means slanderer, a liar, a deceiver. All right, deception.
They say, who shall see them?
Right.
They're so low key with their plans and all that. They throw it in like the Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
They think they're so low key with it they can just throw it on TV.
And you know what? A brother actually brought it out. The creator of that, he actually was a Freemason. So he knew what was going to happen. I forgot the name of that movie. Or not the movie, it's a game, a certain game they got. Where it's like for Freemasons they can play. That goes right back to the Simpsons.
Cards.
Yeah, the cards. It's like tarot cards, but it's not. So what they're doing, they're trying to play God. That's why they always say Nostradamus predicted this. No, it's not. It's something that you're already orchestrating behind the scenes. You know, you're just watching it play out in real life. Forgive me. You're just watching it play out in real life. You give me James 1 and 2, right? So going through all of this is more patience trying to get our crown. Because we see and know all this evil, all this wickedness and what's to come. But at the same time, what's going to hold us? What's going to keep us? Because when people wake up, oh, I got money in my bank account, I have gas in my car, I have food in my house. How you doing, sir? All right now. I have medication, I have air conditioning. I can go to the salon, get my nails done, get a haircut, I can go buy a new outfit, I can buy socks, and take all this stuff for granted. Because like I say, once the economy collapses, you won't have those things anymore. Like I said, now it's going to be a time where you're going to come to your primal instincts on how to survive. But you've been taken from your primitive instincts, you don't know how to survive on your own. Because we become so dependent on the system. Right? No, you're good, you're good. Yeah, recording ourselves, you're good. They monopolized the market. They've cornered everything. You don't know how to go out and plant anymore. You don't know how to go out and slaughter a cow. You don't know how to go out and preserve your own meat, how to make beef jerky, how to hit. If you're in the woods and if you have a broken arm, do you know how to make a plank so that you can actually make your own cast? Do you know what kind of herbs you can go out and use if you feel ill in a certain manner? Do you know the principles of using cinnamon or for using peppermint? Like, those are like traditions that we knew like 50 years ago. We don't even know it today. And what's so sad, you got something called the internet. Smartphones with dumb people. That's why when it comes, I'm not gonna feel sorry. You had it right at the palm of your hand. You chose not to go that way. You want to go this way. So here, that's why the Lord said, "Cry not for these people. It's gonna die." Hey, the same thing with Noah. When the flood came, you think they were begging on the ark, crying? The Lord said, "Nope, let them die." Oh yeah, James.
It's James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to him that love him.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Temptation comes from the carnal, the carnality. If you're in this world, man, you're carnal. There's no way you can be spiritual at the same time and then say that you fear the Lord. There's no way. Because the scripture clearly says you can't serve mammon and you can't serve God. Because you're going to love one more than the other. Because it said rich men, they lose sleep at night. Because they're thinking about money. They're thinking about the next dollar. They're always trying to find ways to cut staff but increase production. That's capitalism. Infinite wealth off of finite resources. And then what they do, they suck the poor dry. But because you make six figures a year, you think you're really making money? No, you're actually making the median of what you need just to stay afloat. Like now, a millionaire is not a millionaire like it was before. A millionaire is more like the thousandaires. Like that's the world we live in, you know. But anyhow,
endure in the blue letter in the same verse.
Yeah.
To remain, to persevere under misfortunes and trials.
Yeah, endure, because endure, durable. The word duration. When you think about duration, you're thinking about time. So it's kind of like, it's like Think about a car. How long can a Honda outlast a Ford? Well, a Honda can last longer. So a Honda has more endurance. That's what endurance means. How much damage, how much affliction, how much tribulation can you take before you break, before you crack, right? That's what endurance means, man. Yeah, and to endure, you have to be a different breed, a different caliber. Because everybody's not the same. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody can't be a warrior. Everybody can't be a physicist. Everybody can't be a blacksmith. Everybody can't be a philosopher. You have to find where you are in your community and make it happen. But there's not even a community here anymore. Hell, you got people making children, and then you got one parent raising a child by themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the world we live in. It's crazy. Isaiah 1:1. So this is gonna go back into why we are for our patience for our crown, man. Because we sinned against our power. Matter of fact, no, drop that. Give me Lamentations 2:1, Baba Kashab. Lamentations 2:1. Reason why we out here because the Lord had to enlighten us again so we can understand who we are. Because we the ones that fell off. Can you give me First Peter, no 2 Peter 3:1.
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 1. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger?
Right, the Lord covered the daughter of Zion in the cloud of his anger. Right? Think about a gloomy day, a bad day. Go ahead out.
And cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel.
Now people will take that and they'll talk about the fallen angels. That has nothing to do with the fallen angels. That was a parable. All right. Israel was in heaven. Now they're in hell. And that goes back to the scripture where the Lord said, thou Capernaum, thou exalt thyself, I shall bring you down to hell. Capernaum was a city. He didn't literally mean he was going to bring a city down to hell. It was a parable saying, you're living in such comfort, I'm going to bring you discomfort. You get what I'm saying? So when the Lord said that he brought Israel down from heaven down to the earth, that means that we were cast down from our throne down to the earth. Matter of fact, you give me Isaiah, I know my mind is just a spirit, just Isaiah 47:1. This is a prime example of us not ruling on the earth as kings and princes to now being at the bottom of the barrel, the tail, the last in society, because we fit the curses. We went through those curses. So the Lord, He's displaying to us what shall befall us in the last days, and we're living proof of that right now. So that,
It's Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right. So that's a prime example of the Lord bringing Israel down from heaven down to the earth. He said the same thing about the virgin daughter of Babylon. And the virgin daughter of Babylon is Edom. All right. The so-called white man, they call Caucasian man, woman, and child. The Edomites according to the Bible. All right. And we have the whole chart over here on who the heathens are as well. So that's the same thing as us being down right here. So we're patient and waiting to get our crown again. You got it? Yeah, so we're patiently waiting to get our crown. Like right here, all the names right there. You got it in English, you have it in the YAHAWAH QADASH, the Paleo Hebrew, then it gives you the English name also over here. All right. It's called a table of nations, man. Johann F. Blumenbach was a racist, and he said the purest people came from the Caucasus Mountains. So he said the Caucasians were the purest people on earth because that was the coldest climate that was on earth. So they called themselves Caucasians, but little do he know, he pretty much told them himself when they say that man came from caves. No, you came from caves. That's why they say it's so easy a caveman can do it. Was it not written in their own journals that the Native Americans had to teach them how to use eating utensils, how to cultivate the land, how to cleanse themselves, right? Because they brought all the diseases over with the pigs and swines, right? They brought that over here. That's written in their history. Yeah, they know it. But nonetheless, though, they will say that they're the purest people on earth. Job said he wouldn't even stand for the people to be around his dogs. So imagine how upset the Lord had to do with the nation of Israel. He said the valiant, the least, the most degenerate of the nation that he hates. He said he was sore displeased with the heathens and what they did to us. But he said that he hate Esau. He put them above us. That's how mad he was. That's so we say we're patiently waiting for our crown, and we're patiently suffering waiting for our crown, man. Because they know who we are. They're like, is this supposed to be the daughter of the what is it? Matter of fact,
This the man who are.
it's the man. No, but let's talk about Esau. Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and 1. Because you know what? We're going to go right back to the table of nations, man. Be patient waiting. But remember, all nations had a hand in it. Can you give me, I think it's 2 Maccabees 9, one where it said, what nation have not had a part in her own captivity?
I was looking for that how he ruled. He had the basis of man all over us.
I got you. I got you. Good one.
Second Maccabees, what again?
I think it's 2 Maccabees 9. Oh, you go ahead and read that.
Psalms 83 and 1.
Oh, you go ahead and see it.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahawah. By Shem Yahushai. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. What do it mean? What do it mean? Lift up the head. Their head is high, like a giraffe. I look above the crowd. I'm riding on my horse, and my head is above the crowd. I am the king. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying right there. Go ahead.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've taken crafty counsel against thy people. Crafty.
Like sneaky, conniving.
Yeah.
Secret.
So rather than these people being brought together, these people have been separated based upon a made-up culture, like Spanish, like Latino, or Native American, or Black. Rather than calling us Judah, they'll call us negative. It means void, negative, evil. Rather than calling them Ephraim, they call them Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico, rich port, because that's actually a play on what's his name, Christopher Columbus. When Christopher Columbus, when he went down to Puerto Rico, the children were playing with gold nuggets in their hands.
They
were throwing gold nuggets in Puerto Rico. Before he got there, they were throwing gold nuggets like it was rocks.
We understood that this gold keeps the water clean.
Gold keeps the water clean, exactly, because that's beautiful. Because you can buy colloidal silver, and you can also buy colloidal gold, and it literally just gets rid of all of the cancerous cells, the free pathogens, the free radicals. But it gets all of that out of your body. It's like alkaline, but you can filter it through silver, and you can filter it through gold.
Can you imagine how beautiful it was? The gold glistening.
The gold
sun,
glistening. It's so beautiful. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And all that was taken from them. But that goes back to what we were talking about. They're taking crafty counsel. Bro, that's a play. And what are you? I'm Puerto Rican. And do you know what it means? Rich port. You were so rich that your kids were playing with gold. They took it all from you and called you Puerto Rico. Oh, you call yourself Boricua? What does Boricua mean? That means the land of the Lords. Why is that? Because Ephraim's the head tribe. The Puerto Ricans are the head tribe of the Northern Kingdom. But they don't even know that why they call themselves Boricua. Yeah, you're a lord, you're a king. But they don't know that. That's hidden history, though. That broken Hebrew, right? But it's a crafty counsel by not calling us that. Like Levi, those are the priests, the tribe of the priests. They call them Haitians. The word Haiti go back to the underworld, Hades, because whenever they were stopped there with slaves, they would not live no longer than 9 to 12 months. They would die there. So they call that the underworld. Look at Haiti today. Tribe, right? Dominicans. That means dog. What? We can keep going on and on and on. Anyhow, go ahead.
Psalms 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Right.
And consulted against thine hidden one.
Right. Thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones?
The lost tribes of Israel.
Right. The lost. Because the elders said it back in the 90s when they had cassettes. They had the VCR, the VHS cassettes, right? When they were recording. He said this dude pulled up in the limousine. And this guy, he rolled down his window. He said, how did you figure all this out? We spent millions of dollars to hide it. He said the dude rolled up the window and drove off, and he never seen the man again. So people look at us like we're crazy, but he said he tried to hide this. Oh, we found it. Like I said, they consulted against thy hidden ones. Job 9:24, the earth given to the hands of to the wicked. So they didn't take it. That's why the Lord said pride has deceived thee, Esau, because you thought you took the whole world on by yourself. No, the Lord hardened you. Like he did to Pharaoh. He hardened Pharaoh's heart to prove to us his power. He hardened your heart to prove to us his power. And he's going to take it from you. Right? But your craftiness is really from the Spirit of the Lord that left fight against us. That's really what it is.
Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Don't call them Judah, call them Negro. Don't call them Benjamin, call them Western Indians. Don't call them Issachar, call them Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? They knew who we were. It's a movie called 1492. All right? In the movie 1492, they're reading out of the passage of Esdras. Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, where it says they went down where the Lord calmed the waters for a year and a half to go to a land no man has ever been. What was the calm waters? They went down the east coast of Africa, and the calm waters, I forgot the name of it, is down at the tip of South Africa, are some of the choppiest waters in the world, and a lot of surfers go down there. That's what that passage is talking about in the Bible. They use it in the book to find the 10 lost tribes of Israel. So they know who we are. Stop it. That's the point I'm getting at. But because of how we look, we don't have a scholar. We're not scholarly. You know, we didn't go to Cambridge or Princeton or Yale or Stanford. Oh, you're not. They say the same thing about the Lord. They said, how this man learning, how this man know these things, never learning letters. They never saw the Messiah in their schools of worship.
Yeah. The Spirit gives them the remembrance.
Yeah, the Spirit did. That's crazy. That's why the Lord used Paul, because he was a student of Gamaliel. He said that he was a student of Gamaliel. I was a Pharisee of the Pharisee. I was circumcised the 8th day, the stock of Abraham. So he used him to go to the Gentiles because he knew how to speak Greek, Latin, all of that. He was skilled in all of that. Why not use that vessel that could go amongst all the people that can and cannot understand? That's heavy, man, how the Lord did that. But because the Lord wasn't in a school of education, oh man, he's not worthy of being validated. Well, we tell you the same thing. You can go and research yourself. That's why the Lord told us to come out here. So when it does happen, you can't say you never heard. You can't say you never knew. You can't say you never saw. You know, that's the only reason why we out here. Other than that, we'll be at home praying and waiting for the destruction to come. That's it. That's why we out here. Go ahead.
Come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right.
That the name of Israel may be no more and remembrance.
Now, how come they say they Jews? They never say they're Israelites. They would say they're Israelis. Right? Israeli means an inhabitant of Israel. An Israelite means that you are a direct descendant from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hands down. So they say, we want the name of Israel to be pushed out. But the world knows that land is known as Israel. That land is still Israel to this day. A small piece of land has the whole world looking at it. But people looking at us like we're crazy. We're reading the Bible that speaks about all of Israel. I just don't understand what world we're living in, man. It's like the critical thinking of people is just so subpar. It's almost borderline sad, but it's like, forget it, man. That's why I see why the masses will perish anyhow. You know, like the information came out, America's 30th in the world in education. But they want to tell the other world how to dictate their people and how to get out of here, man. You over here talking about what gender you are. They're over there surviving on wars and they're doing economic forms and plans without the dollar. And y'all over here crying about what? I see why the world hate us. Well, hate y'all. I live here. I'm an American citizen, but I'm an Israelite descendant. But I see why the world hate us, man. I'm ashamed to live up here, but so many benefits, right? Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Well, one consent, all right? Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee.
Confederate. Go back. The word confederate goes back to, like, think about the Confederate army that took down the troops. Confederate means that they're a conglomerate. They're together on this. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Now, remember, you spoke about the basis of men. And I was talking about Job in the book of Job, where it said, can you just find it? Can you find it from the one that said, what nation have I had? Yeah, will you speak about, one more time, man?
For they have consulted together against, with one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacle of Edom.
Right. And Job said that those who were who are older than I will not disdain to be with my dogs. But he said, when he's talking about the basis of man, is talking about the violence of the earth. It's talking about Esau. Cause remember what it says, and what's that? Hebrews, is it Hebrews 12? What it said, but who was one abominable? What is it? Don't be like the abominable person Esau. Oh, whoever is profane and abominable like Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright to his brother Jacob. So even the scripture said that Esau is profane. Even the scripture said he's an abominable. So the basis of man will be Esau. This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matters by decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. It's the reason why those skirmishes are happening in the Middle East, all over the world, matter of fact. Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. How was his name? That's why they say it's a sin. Sometimes you must have war in order to have peace. And the Lord's going to bring war to bring peace to the earth. So the life that you live right now, please live it to your fullest, because it will never exist again. Continue. And give it to whomsoever he will. So the Lord give the judgment. The Lord give the judgment and give the power to who he want to. It shows that in the book of Judges. Right. So the Lord sets up rulers. He sets up kings. That's why when you go back in the book of Daniel, when they had the statue, it showed you what was it, the lion with the feathers? That goes back to the Medes and the Persians, and then how every kingdom that came after, like the wound that was healed, that was the Roman Empire brought back again during the 1492. Well, no, but actually prior to that, 1300s. The Renaissance, that's why it's called the rebirth, right? All that goes into fruition, man. So the Lord set it up. What it says, Satan was bound for 1,000 years, and then he was loosed out. That goes back to 325 AD, when you had Constantinople, when you had the Western German Bank, when you had Constantine. During that time, you had the Christian era, 325 BC, AD. I'm sorry, they're from 325 AD all the way up to like the 1300s. You got to go to the book of the 13 tribe. It speaks about how they were looking for a nation that they can follow after to clean up their people. They had the Muslims and they had the Jews. They used the word Jew in there, but it's Israelites. And then they took on the Israelites' customs, and then they created Judaism. And then they started marrying into the Moorish families, going back to King James, who was the sixth king of Scotland, the first king of England. And he actually formed the United Kingdom. He was an Israelite. He was a Moor. His grandson was called the Black Sun. You can't make that up, right? So King James was actually a Moor, a dark-skinned man. He came from the House of Stuart. The House of Stuart go back to a German house, which also, when you had so-called Negroes living in Germany during that time. We'll look at ancient coat of arms. You'll see dark-skinned men on coat of arms dating back to the 1300s. King James came from the House of Stuart, which go back to a German word, sport, which sport means black or swarthy. Hence, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger means that the people living there before were dark-skinned people. That was their name. Schwartz means swarthy is black. Neger goes back to Negro, which is black. So the people who lived in Germany back during the Middle Ages were dark-skinned people. Anyhow, but that's something you'll never know, because they'll tell you during the Middle Ages, it was the dark ages, a time where wisdom was void. No, that was the times you was in the caves, man. That's why you call yourself Caucasian. Subliminal messages. Go ahead, Oh yeah, hold that. After you read the nation, then you read that. Right. Oh, Khan, that's on point. I got you.
Psalms 83, verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
Right.
And the Ishmaelites.
So you got Edom. All right. Who it is? The Caucasian man today. The Ishmaelites. The Ishmael. Saudi Arabians over there. That's why they call them princes. They literally call them princes to this day, because in the Bible, Asma Allah, forgot the name on how you pronounce it in the Hebrew. The word princess is also in the name Ishmael. So the Saudi Arabians over there, they are descendants of Abraham because they're descendants of Ishmael, which is why there are Muslims today because the Muslims took not the Muslims. Muhammad extracted a lot of what the Jews did during that time, and he replicated it into his own religion. That's where Islam comes from. It shows you that because Muhammad, he couldn't really read or write, but he was very keen and attentive. He had a great imagination. So he took everything that the Jews was talking about during that time, and he came up with this own amalgamation called Islam. Because you got to go back to the 10th century. The black popes of Rome, they knew that was their land, so they wanted to form a religion that would they could have their own land, which was Mecca in Saudi Arabia, but they took it to heart and they never let it go. So going back to Muhammad during that time, what 700, that the Ishmaelite. And matter of fact, the word Arab, Shalom, YAHAWASHI, the word Arab actually means mixed. When you go into it, it means mixed. Right? So the Saudi Arabians are over there. The Saudi Arabians over there are Ishmaelites, but there are a lot of people over there also who has mixed in among them. Man. Okay, so go ahead.
The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab.
Moab would be so-called Chinese, and Ammon, who would be the youngest of Moab, would be the so-called Japanese. Though they're a descendant from Lot, who was Abraham's nephew. Lot had 2 daughters, and when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, they thought that they was the only women left, and they literally got their own father intoxicated and they slept with their own father. Hence, which see how the spirit works. Yep. Hence, which is why you have the features with the eyes like that. I forgot what they call it. But to see how the spirit works, that's spiritual. But it's sad that they live in a land that's in the Far East. In the Far East. So when you go into the origin of the word Oriental, it literally means someone in the Middle East, because society stems from from Shinar, Acadia, and Chaldea. So when you're thinking about civilization, where it started, it literally started. First and foremost, you got to remember, the earth was one big landmass. It was called Pangea. And deep down in the depths of that big landmass will be the deepest, darkest vegetation and the deepest, rooted parts of civilization. So in other words, it would have the most fertile soil. So even to this day, if you want to get geographical, what Israel is today was also known as the Fertile Crescent, hence the land of milk and honey. Right? Go ahead, right?
Of Moab and the Hagarenes.
Right. Hagarenes that go back to Ham. Right?
Gebal.
Good.
And Ammon and Amalek.
And Amalek. Now Amalek go back to the Dukes of Edom. The Amalekites would go back to the people today who will be considered the 1948ers. All right? Who will be considered small hats. Or how should I put it? Big nose. The big nose. The people who are what's what I'm looking for? They pretty much benefited from the Dafflo Declaration from Lord Rothschild. The people today who are bombing the Gaza Strip. I mean, there's so many other ways I can put it. But I don't want to get counsel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those people over there, they're the Amalekites, and they know it. But they really know that they're descended from Esau. Because in the Jewish encyclopedia, 1925, edition 4, page 91, it clearly says that jewelry, it says Edom is in modern jewelry, and modern means present. So the people today claiming to be the Jews, saying that they are also descended from Edomites. They put that in their own books. When you go into, if you ever go online, type up Herod the Edomite. Herod goes back to the Edomites, right? Who goes back to Esau, who goes back to Jacob's brother. I mean, the history is out there. You just can't make it up. You know what I'm saying? You can try it, but at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. Go ahead, up.
And Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Yep. Tyre and Sidon is what the land of Israel was called prior. Actually, let me get this straight. It was actually called the land of Canaan. But you had Tyre and Sidon that were actually major cities there. And that goes back to the descendants of Canaan, which Canaan would be, if I'm not mistaken, the grandson of Ham, which Ham is one of the 3 sons of Noah. So it all goes by the lineage because. Can you please give me more of that?
Shem, Joseph.
Read verse 8, and then after that, can you give me Deuteronomy 32 and 8? Go ahead.
Verse 8, Psalms 83 and 8. Asher,
No, go.
Asher also is joined unto them. They have opened the children of Lot.
Right. Go ahead. I go to Deuteronomy 32 and 8. It's because it says it because after it's in Genesis the 10th chapter. You had the Tower of Babel. You had Nimrod ruling during that time. Because they heard of the stories, all the descendants of Ham, Shem, and Japheth of the flood. So they said, let's build a tower up into heaven so if a flood comes again, we can't be flooded. So the Lord knew the minds of the men. He changed everybody's language. In other words, it was everybody spoke one language at one time. It was Hebrew. Then he changed the dialect of everybody's language, but kept Abraham with the pure language, which was to have the name of Yahweh in it as well. It goes down to that lineage, but you got to read that to understand that, right? And then after Abraham left, the Lord separated all the sons of men. All the sons of men went into their own lands during that time. Okay, that's why you got the word Babel, the word Babylon. Babel means confusion. That's why they called it the Tower of Babel. Because everybody was talking, but when the Lord changed their dialect, they couldn't understand each other. Then they went into their own lands, right? So America is also known as the mystery whore of Babylon, because you have all these nations, and this is the most concentrated place on the face of the earth where you can find all nations, and they have all different type of languages. They wear all different types of clothes, have their own heritage, their own customs, their own language, their own beliefs, their own religions. How can this not be the mystery whore of Babylon, right? And you can't even tell if it's a man or woman walking up the street, so you definitely know it's the mystery whore of Babylon, right? But the Lord separated the sons of Adam according to the children of Israel. Go ahead, up.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8 and 9. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
So every nation is supposed to have their own lot. So even this whole amalgamation of America, this is way against what the Lord said. This is way against what the Lord said. This is definitely not it, because it's just confusion. What the scripture says, can two men walk together except they be agreed? Right? Can two men walk together except they be agreed? There's really no agreement here based upon only those who you can relate to. But like within the whole nation, within itself, nah, man, it's just confusion here. But it all goes back to profit. They'll profit off of anything. That's why the scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. Money's not evil. A gun isn't evil. It's the one who's wielding the gun that makes you afraid of it. Judah 5 and 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. Lest their Lord defend them, and that God be for them. Nice. And we become a reproach before of all the world. Yeah, we become a reproach. And what's that term? Everybody want to be a nigga, but they don't want to be a nigga. If you have a racist white boy, he'll be wearing like a Michael Jordan jersey, got the whole fitted on, the Bulls cap, got the shoes, listen to rap music and everything. Get on PlayStation Network, call you nigga and everything, all in your face.
Yeah, also they can't endure the rigorous assessment.
They can't go through what we went through. Man. That's why we excel in everything, bro.
That's that man that be talking about white supremacy and stuff like that.
Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not right in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Exactly. The just shall live by faith. Because in order for you to really be up at the top in this world, you have to be a part of it. And it's a lot of evil out here. They make you want to bend the knee. They make you want to put on a dress. They make you want to sit on a certain couch. You know what I'm saying? They make you want to sacrifice. They make you want to do something to little kids. Nah, man. They make you yeah. They make you want to go to these eyes wide shut parties if you want to be a part of something.
You're engaged in sodomite activity.
Right. Yeah. No, man, that's not right. That's
given, much is required. So.
Right. Because you're living through their medium. I forgot who it was. I think it was Missy Elliott. It was one of those rap artists back in the day. They said when they went up inside, it wasn't her, but somebody said it. When they went up inside one of these CEOs' offices, they literally had in the mid, it's like glass in the floor, and you could put your CD in the floor, and when they played your music, they played the music backwards, and it had a subliminal message in it. That's why we listen to Missy Elliott music. You know, sometimes she'll be like, "Is your?" She'll say something backwards. What she's saying backwards is a subliminal message. Like in Rihanna music, it's a certain song. If you listen to it backwards, she would refer to herself as a certain entity. Like who is that? Sasha Fierce. That's Beyonce. Beyonce call herself Sasha Fierce. That's her alter ego. Lil Wayne call himself Tucci. That's her alter ego. You know. Have you seen the interview with Britney Spears? She's literally holding an interview with a woman, and she starts swaying her hair, and she's like, "Stop it!" Like somebody's on the side of her. Man, there were demons messing with her, bro. They tell you that, man. That's why the scripture said the earth given to the hands of the wicked. That's why we out here, man. The Lord said, "Mark the man that sign cry for the abominations thereof." How could you sit firm with so selfish? How can you sit so firm and be so happy in today's society, not even imagining what the next generation has to go through? Right? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have kids.
We influence each generation.
We influence each generation. And look at the influence you're putting on the children.
You remember the Winnie show when she was dressed like the Statue of Liberty? She saw something that nobody saw on stage.
She passed out.
That was the
fall of America. That's something the fall of America.
She was Lady Liberty,
and she passed out. That was symbolizing the fall of America.
The death, the breath. Remember, the breath of life is wisdom. The breath of life is your philosophy. The skirt's being lifted up, you've been exposed too much. Kazak Bun Yahawah to drop Sirach 20 and 32. This is a good one. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. Wow. That's like I say, a lot of people walking around with their eyes wide shut. They can see, but they can't perceive. You know, a lot of people are walking around aimlessly going nowhere. They say they've done everything. Have you tried serving the Lord? No. I've been here. I've eaten here. I've dressed in this. And then after that, you come to realize it was nothing. Now you're good, bro. I'm sorry. You're good, bro. I'm having issues. Get home safe, man. But that was a good one. Right. Kazak Bun Yahawah to drop. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. I swear the spirit's so beautiful. I was thinking about it.
No guy.
Okay, you got something, let me know because I don't be knowing. I be talking. So that was a good one. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. All of this is vanity and vexation of spirit. Can you give me Matthew 19? Well, how about Matthew 16? Con. Like you said about the guy, that was a good one. That was on Sirach. 16. Sirach 20 and 23. That was a good one. Go ahead.
It says Psalms 119 verses 104 and 105. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. So the scriptures tell us the difference between right and wrong and how to maneuver in this wicked society. Verse 105. Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path. Those that don't have no guide, they don't have no light. They don't see where they're going. They don't know the difference between right and wrong. That's a scary place to be.
Like the brother said, there's no difference between right and wrong. It's something called the spirit of discernment. So when you talk about intuition is instinctual, right? Like intuition is instinctual. Like if you feel like if I have a lighter, if he's not looking, if I just put the heat to him, his instinct's gonna make him jump because he feels like he's getting burned. That's instincts, right? It's the same thing with the spirit of discernment. You have to be instinctual. If I see a dude coming up with some attire on, he had gold cufflinks on, no facial hair, bald head, he comes up smelling like he wears $300 cologne. People will accept him more than they will accept us because they're going by the appearance. Remember the Lord said, have you not known? I've chosen the poor of this world rich in faith because riches profit not. Right? That's the difference though. But going back to the scriptures, this brother gonna bring out a precept that's gonna go into how can a man give up his spirit, give up his soul to gain the whole world? Like do you not know the left hand side? Satan works for the Lord. So you're gonna leave the right hand side to go to the left hand side. Then the left hand side gonna be like, you a dummy. I work for the Lord. Now you belong to me. There's no going back. Who is that? Oh, I think it's Nicki Minaj, right? No, I think it's Cardi B. Which one? Offset go with Cardi B, right? Offset go with Cardi B. Remember she said, I don't cook, I don't clean. It come to Stitch. He recorded her. Yeah, man, you over here looking goofy, lying to these people saying she in there. Well, she got her bathrobe on, her nice bathroom, sweeping while he's sitting on the side of the tub watching her. These women will eat that up. Beyonce, all these women, when you said all my ladies, independent, all of that, right? There's a 2006 video of her standing in front of Jay-Z saying he made her life complete. She loved him and everything. Beyonce done made all that independent, pay my bills, music. She been with Jay-Z for over what, 2 decades? Y'all out here single? Y'all stupid. They fell for the okie doke. Even Cardi B said she don't even want her children to listen to her music. But y'all women listen to it. Y'all got took it for the okie doke, man.
That's messed up.
Yeah, go be single. Go be out here. Man, these women got their man. Y'all out here pregnant with multiple men's children. Not nobody wants you because you thought you could live the life they could. They sold you a lie and you believed in it. That's why it's so hard to hear the truth, because truth is really stranger than fiction, man. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you got it.
16 and what?
16 and 24.
It's Matthew 16 to 24. Then said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
It said any man, he said any man deny himself. So what's denying yourself? Man, I ain't nobody. I'm a no-name. Right? But then when your face is plastered on the TV, plastered on the billboards, when they hand out pamphlets with your face on it, business is different, you know. But I'm talking about to be someone that has some type of status. Lord is like, why would you give your soul to gain the whole world? For what? King Solomon said he had it all in all. He had 700 women, 700 wives, 300 concubines. He still said all these gold cups, all of this purple array, all the diadems in the crown, the scepters, the gold, all of this, the phylactery, all the embroidery. He said all of this is nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing. Because you can't. So in the end, what can you take it with you? No. You enjoy the pleasurable things while you're here, but what was your whole purpose here? To live in carnality, you're gonna lose in the end. That's the difference. Let's go back to that spirit of discernment like you had. Like you live on a planet no man created. The beautiful tree, a bird that can fly, amphibians that can live underwater and breathe. You know, like just watching the butterfly come from a cocoon and all these beautiful, and there are people that's really just wake up every day, get on their phone, make TikToks, play, act goofy, chase money. It's like, do you not see all this glory around you? Right? They really don't understand. Like every day you breathing, it's because there's a higher entity keeping you alive. Do you not want to do what it takes to keep yourself alive? I had a conversation with a dude on my job the other day. I said, you know what? I think the smartest man in the world is the man that can live to be 100 years old and be happy. What's the point of having all that money if you die at 43?
It's better to have health. It's better to have health than have wealth and no health.
Woo! Facts.
Health is wealth.
I like that. Go ahead. So like I keep cutting you off.
Verse 25, this is Matthew 16 to 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
Right.
And whosoever will lose his life shall find it.
So you know what that means? Before you became enlightened, right? You know, you were living in the world, you were doing your own thing. I was finna have my own thing, I was finna have my own business, move out to the country. We had acres in Alabama, all of that. I went to school for electrician, I was finna go back to school for refrigeration, masonry. I went to school for CNA, I learned CPR, I was finna learn everything. You know, learn how to shoot bow and arrow, live out in the woods with no electric. I was on that time. 2010, I was on demon time on getting the fuck away from people. I swear. 2010, I had a whole plan to get away from people, man, and live out in the country, off the grid. I'm like, the whole night, the Lord said, no, it's not your rest. Then came the enlightenment. So that man, that part of me died. because the Lord let me know this is not it. Don't worry about that. Do this instead. I've chosen you to do this. Right. So that's what it means by he who do not lose himself or give himself up. You all the desires that you had that you wanted to do, that man is dead. Now you're born again. You're a new creature because now you repented from the thing that you thought was right. You know they were wrong. You want the grace. You have faith, and then you can see the signs. You're like, oh snap, this is really happening. I know it's written in parables, but it's really happening. And so then when you come out and you have the spirit of discernment, you come to realize just how out of place you are in society. Because it's like I can't partake in that. Because I know it's too wicked. I'm sorry, man. You know, hey, would you mind coming to my my wedding? My homeboy who I used to play ball with, now my homeboy marrying, his male coworker. I can't be your best man in your wedding, homie. I can't do it. The world wouldn't allow me. My country won't let me do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like certain things in this world, like it puts you apart. You come to realize just how alone you are, because you can't relate to too many people. You can, but it's hard. No Wi-Fi. It's like, what are you talking about? Sports? What are you talking about? Like what? Fights? Or who broke up with who?
And when you do mention, hell breaking loose and all that, they don't want to hear.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
But it's good news.
It's not good for them because this is all they know. This all they know. They don't believe what's to come, so they don't want to hear that. Right. Jada Pinkett, Tyrese, it's all. But remember what the scripture says: folly said in great dignity. What happened when Rome was falling? Bread and circuses. Keep feeding them entertainment. Keep giving them the artery clogging food, the sugary food, the sweets, all the cerveza, the beer, the tequila, the vodka, the wine. Give them all the hot women. Give them all the buff men. Give them all the exotic cars. Give them all the jewels. Give them all the clothing. Give them everything. Because we know this shit's finna fall. So right now, America is literally the Titanic falling, but everybody's just playing their fucking violin. That's America. America is Titanic falling, but everybody's just playing their violin. Okay. Shalom. YAHAWASHI, Bashir QADASH, Rekatah Shah for the masterpiece. Exactly. Hey, Khazar, you dropped some good ones up there, but you keep dropping these other ones, it takes it away, bro. You know, you flood in the market, man. You monopolizing the comic book, brother. You good, man. You good.
Dealing with no reputation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read Matthew 16 and 24.
This Matthew 16 and 24. Then said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
Right.
Philippians 2 and 6, who being the form of Yahweh, though it not robbery to be equal with Yahweh, but made himself of no reputation, and took up him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of man. Verse 8, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. He had the power.
He had the power. But remember though, it's crazy. He had the power. Remember what he said. My will, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. So even though he had the power, I'm going to use my power based upon what my Father in heaven told me to do. Prime example though, think about this though. When he was at the wedding, his mother told him to turn water into wine. So you got to, like the elders say, spiritually speculate. So his mother seen YAHAWASHI, the Messiah, do miracles since he was a boy. So she been seeing him do this. So when we had a wedding, YAHAWASHI turned that water into wine. He was like, woman. Then when he said his mama, he said, woman, this is not my time. But what did it say? Honor thy mother. So he turned the water into wine. You know what I'm saying? He had the power to do that. He could, but he didn't want to. But his mama said, do it. All right, I'm going to do it. But the Lord put the spirit in him to do it. But he couldn't do what he wanted to do. He was sitting to do what the Lord told him to do. Go ahead, Al.
And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself.
Can you give me
He humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross.
He became obedient to death, even the death of the cross. Hey, it even says in Hebrews, he came in the form a little lesser than the angels. So let that sink in. Everybody understand in general. If you living in the flesh, you're a little lesser than an angel. But if you really go to the word angel, it means messenger. So we're angels in chains of darkness. That's why we're on the lower level. Chains of darkness is his flesh, man.
I gotta read that.
Because we're bound by desires and carnality. Go ahead.
Verse 9 and 10. Wherefore Yahawah also hath highly exalted him, and
I know. It's good.
And given him a name which is above every name.
That's why the name is so important. A name, not names. Not Elohim, not Yahweh, not Jehovah Jireh. No. Not Jesus. It's not Christ.
Not Grandma Kamari.
Not Grandma.
Yeah. That's foul.
No, not Grandma Kamari. Right. Because once again, come on, people, just use your critical thinking. They didn't speak English 2,000 years ago. So letter J didn't exist, right? So name is YAHAWASHI. Gave him a name above all. What does that mean? He saves, he delivers. Because a name is an omen nomen. Names have meanings. Back then, names had meanings. All right? Jacob means to plant. Esau means wasted away. Israel means a prince of God. Names had meaning. Isaac, you want to know why Isaac got his name? Because when the angel told Sarah she was going to be pregnant at age 90, she laughed on the inside. And the angel said, you laugh? And she lied and said, no. And the angel said, henceforth, your son name will be Isaac. Isaac is pronounced Yashashakar. In the Hebrew, Isaac means laughter. Because she laughed at the angel, because Sarah didn't think she was going to be married at the age of 90, he said, since you laughed, your son's name is going to be Isaac, which is laughter. So names have meaning. So yes, you want to know. It's like, I always use this analogy. God forbid someone gets into an accident, the car catches ablaze and they're unconscious. But they wake up in the hospital. They say, what happened? An 18-wheeler cut you off and you hit the back of this van, you flipped into a ravine, the car caught fire, you was unconscious, but this gentleman pulled you from the wreck before the car exploded. First thing you're gonna ask is, what's his name? You want to know the name of the man that saved your life, right? So wouldn't it be important to know the name of the Messiah, YAHAWASHI, if he's coming to save you, right? It's crazy to say, oh, it could be any name, but I bet when you fill out for a bank account, I bet you put your name properly, your first, middle, and last. You make sure you put your social security in there perfect. You make sure you put your email on there. Make sure you put your physical address on there. So if you're gonna put all your personal information on perfectly for a job interview or for a bank account, how can you dare say the Lord has many names? He has one name, right? So put some respect on his name. Even baby said that. Yeah, Mo.
That at the name of YAHAWASHI, Mashiach,
Oh, that was on point.
every knee shall bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue shall confess that YAHAWASHI Mashiach is Lord, and to the glory of Yahawah the Father.
Right. It's a glory of Yahweh the Father, man. That's why he said, all things shall bow. Because remember what the scripture said? It said, pride is not made for men. Pride is not made for man. You're on borrowed time, my friend. Think about it. If you're on borrowed time, why do you boast? You don't know when you're gonna clock out. You don't know when the Lord gonna send that pink slip to the angel. Go and get him. Right? Remember what it says? The dust goes back to the ground, and the spirit goes back to him that sent it, that gave it. That gave it. Right? So why are you here? You understand that? Strive for mastery, drop Proverbs 30:4. Who have ascended up into heaven or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fists? Who have bound the waters in a garment? That lets you know the Lord. That lets you know the Lord controls the natural disasters. Who bounds the fist? Bro, that's like shaking the hands of a hurricane. The Lord controls it, man. But you don't fear him. That's crazy. Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? That was a question. So it said, do you know, if you know the name, what is it? That's so beautiful, because that's how precious the name is. You can say it, you can put it out there, but if you can't receive it, I mean the Lord blocked you. When it says, if our gospel be hid, it's because the God of this earth has blinded them. That's not love, bro. That ain't love, my guy. Facts. Oh, Kazak Bunny Howard brought out one about bowing down. Hey, I mean, I don't know if they read this one in the church, but this is what the Lord said. This is red letter. Luke 19:27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. That's what the Lord said. So in other words, he's saying, hey, as thou wilt done in heaven shall be done on earth. The Lord gonna bring righteousness. So all this BS, the Lord said, if they don't want to bow down, just bring them down and slay them. They got to come back as a baby and be reborn, be reprogrammed. A lot of, hey, I seen a brother do a video. He said, man, the world just needs a global reset. Like for real, the world needs a global reset. It's not getting any better, man. It's getting so much worse. It's waxing worse and worse. It's like rust. And the generation that we from, the adults are like children, but they're so selfish, man. They're so self-centered, so egotistical. Like, why are you as a mother going out with your daughter to a club? You should be at home with her grandchildren, if she have any. You know what I'm saying?
That's a news article that a father did a drug with his son. He told his son to sleep it off, and his son ended up dying. What's that one drug?
Great. Fentanyl.
Yeah. The mother was dancing on TikTok with their daughter. You look better than your daughter, and can't nobody really tell who's the mother and who's the daughter.
You know what? I saw something so sad before I came to camp. This woman, she was pretty in the face. She hopped out. She was like, yes, this is slut number one. Her daughter behind her said, I'm slut number two. She had a daughter probably 9 years old. She had a daughter probably 9 years old. She said slut number three. Her mama said, no, you ain't. Well, look at what you're displaying in front of her. You're making her think that's good. So, like, you get what I'm saying, right? So you're saying, I'm slut number one. Your daughter says she's number two, and then your 9-year-old daughter says she's number three. But then you're gonna tell her, no, you're not. This is just crazy, bro. That's why we need a global reset, man. We need an absolute global reset, and the Lord's gonna do it. The Lord's gonna do it. Yeah. So, go back. You got something for that? Can you please give me Sirach 11:1-6? Once again, we're here for our crowns. Can you please read Ecclesiastes 7:12? Right, because this goes back to why would you give up your spirit, your soul, to gain the whole world? All of this is vanity. All of this is nothing. Your spirit is everlasting. This stuff is temporal. Why would you give up your spirit for that? You know, and the spirit's not even yours. It's like you going to get a loan, then you going to the club and just throwing the money everywhere. What the hell? Ecclesiastes 7:12.
This is a rock.
Satan.
Got it? All right, I got some real quick. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking in service upon the earth. So once again, so that's letting you know something ain't right. Why is a prince walking upon the earth but a servant is upon the horse? They go back to that curse. He shall be the head and you shall be the tail. You shall go and want and need everything from thy enemy. For food, for water, for raiment, shelter, for everything. That's why. And that's the spirit that Brother James 1:12, and that was the one that I think opened up with that too. Yes, that's right. That's the spirit, huh? I got you. James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. If you love me, do what? Keep the commandments. We're seeking that crown of life right now. That's why the spirit is here, because we're segueing into that right now. You can just tell how the spirit works, man. Hey, though you be absent in the flesh, y'all here in the spirit. Shalom.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
So wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. All right? We can come up here because what it says, we're in defense of the gospel. But you have to be wise to do that. You know what I'm saying? Why the scripture says, wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gates. And that's just what the scripture says. Because think about this though. we kind here on the corner, but all at the same time. Anybody can go home and study, research, and they can try to come out and like debate with us, but they don't. Because you can't just sit out here and speak senseless rhetoric and think it's true. Now, anybody can come up and try and debunk you, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you can go back and research everything that we're speaking about. But it takes a different type of spirit to go out there and do that, man. Especially when you stand for what you believe. You know what people do nowadays? Everybody just comment warriors, comment wars. Ha ha, that's a lie. Ha ha, you're an idiot. Ha ha, he's trash. Ha ha, NJ's #1. In real life, you would never open your mouth. In the classroom, you'll never open your mouth. Now you have all this bravado on the internet. Like, but that's the world we live in, you know. Fictitious warriors.
The comment section means more than anything.
The comment section means more than anything, but they won't go out and preach what they're talking about. They won't even have a video uploaded on their YouTube page, but they've been on YouTube for like 5 years. So you just roam the internet, the internet wave just in a comment board. Like, bro, if you believe what you believe, man,
sometimes you don't even go to the video, just go
to the comment section.
And
that's the world we live in. Let's see what this guy's talking about. Man, ain't you got some business on your own? What are you doing? It's crazy, my guy. Anyhow, read that again, Bible Show.
Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it.
So money is a defense, and wisdom is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge gives them life. So like I said, they can take money, car, job, whatever. One thing I will not let them take is my faith. See, that's the best defense you ever have, your faith. Because that gives you life, not the money. The way society is structured, okay, you have to go to a store and you have to go and pay for certain items. But hell, now they even have law where you can't even plant your own vegetation. See, so you can see the world you're living in, man. So where's your money going to get you when they have a certain system that you can't use legal tender? You have to use a chip, right? Where they can track everything. Where's your faith then? Right? Wisdom of Solomon, not wisdom of Solomon, damn. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. With all thy getting, get understanding. So you know better, do better. The application of knowledge is wisdom. And once you have discovered wisdom, you can get a better understanding. That's why it's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So wisdom is the principal thing. But just because you know doesn't mean anything. Just because you get invited to the dance doesn't mean you get a dance. Right? You have to earn that dance. Ooh, there you go. Go ahead,
Sirach 11:1-6. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that have low degree.
Right. So we have a low degree in society because of our status, quote unquote. Stat is a high, we're not high value men in the eyes of the Lord. I mean, in the eyes of the people. But then when we're being Lord willing, how we have Shabbat, we're beaten up. Damn, what if I gotta have billions? I thought he was a high value man.
Well, that's what it says. A rich man lead over the camel. Rich man can enter into the kingdom.
It's easy to put a camel through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Right? Go ahead.
Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men.
And maketh him to sit among great men. Men of faith at that. Going back to the elders of Great Millstone and like-minded men and these beloved brothers right here. And even y'all on the comment board, you know. Go ahead, Op.
Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
So people will look at the outward appearance. Can you get me James 2:1, Baba Kasha? And hold that on that, Baba Kasha. Ecclesiastes 8:1 from Chazak Bun YAHAWAH. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? And man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, in the boldness of his face shall be changed. Can you read on the first verse again really quick and jump back down?
Wisdom lift up the head of him that is of a low degree.
It just said it. Wisdom lift up the head of him which is of a low degree. Why? Because wisdom make your face to shine, and it changed the boldness of your face. And you can stand before these people boldly in the spirit of YAHAWASHI and let me know what the deal is. Why? Because it ain't me you're gonna have a problem with. You gonna have a problem with Papa, with Abba, and YAHAWASHI, our big brother. We just messengers. So don't kick us down the well, down the hole like Leonidas. Don't say this is madness. This is America. We know it. So that's why the Lord's coming back. That's why we come to let you know. Land and water. And we can take our shit back. Facts, man. So Ecclesiastes 8:2. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God. Facts. What's the whole duty of man? For the Lord to keep his commandments.
Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his appearance. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
So you look at the bee as being a very small flying insect, but it's the chiefest of all the sweet things, right? So people are carnal, so they'll look at the carnality of something, and then they will diminish it based upon the appearance or the size. So like the bee is really the smallest amongst a lot of, not the smallest, but it's small amongst the flies, but it's the chiefest of all of the sweets because of the honey. I mean, even a bear is more than willing to get stung by a couple bees to get a dip of that honey. But it's the smallest of, one of the smallest of all the flies.
Verse 4, boast not of thy clothing and remnant, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor.
Right. So in other words, the clothing that you have, do not allow that to be a representation of the spirit. Because as of right now, our spirit, what the Lord said, come with him in mourning and ashes and sackcloth. It's a sackcloth, not in purple array, riding in on a horse like you, YAHAWASHI. Women in the crowd crying at this dude at the Passover. They got gold like the Green Ranger. Yeah, you seen them? Yeah, you talking about Nate, man, on the Passover coming in on a horse. Women in there crying. No, they ain't throw this bra. They ain't throw their bra. But they acting like they was at a concert. So, bro, you not YAHAWASHI, right? Can you give me on James 2:1 to 5?
It's James 2:1. My brethren, have not thy faith of our Lord Mashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of a person.
Right, the Lord don't have respect of persons. He don't care who you are. Go ahead up.
For if there come unto your assembly a man with gold ring and good and godly apparel,
right,
and there come in also a poor man and vile remnant.
So there comes in a man that have, let's say, a tuxedo, not tuxedo, a 3-piece suit on, gold cufflinks, he's clean shaven. He walks, he speaks eloquently. His gait is that of a man of nobility. So you see him walk into the assembly, everybody looking at him and, girl, we creased up, right? All right, go ahead. Huh?
And you have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing,
the pleasant apparel. Go ahead.
And say unto him, sit thou here in the good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
So you will say to the poor, sit at my footstool, but to the man in the good array, you will tell him to sit by you. So they look at the sign. This goes back to wisdom, exalt them up. But don't exalt yourself because of the clothing you're wearing, or don't exalt somebody else because of the clothing that they're wearing. Okay?
Boast not thy clothing and remnant, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor, for the works of the Lord are wonderful.
And hold on, exalt thyself in the day of honor. The Lord said humility comes before honor. What the hell Jake got to be honorable about? Huh?
The word patience goes into the word humility.
Right, suffering. Yeah.
For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden.
And his works are hidden, but they're wonderful. Why is it hidden? It goes back to Ezra. He said, make these books open to the public, but these 66, he said, close and give to those who are wise. That's exactly what he said. So it's crazy. It's like, so when you read the scriptures, Malachi 3:16, what it says? It says, and there were those who thought upon the Lord's commandments and feared his name. So a book of remembrance was created for them. So the Bible's only written for those that fear his commandments in his name. So that's what the hidden secrets is not for everyone, it's only for the elect. Go ahead.
Many kings.
James 2 and 4. Are ye not very partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts?
Right.
Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and the heirs of the kingdom?
Right. So has the Lord not chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, to be heirs of the kingdom? So you look at somebody like TD Snakes or Clefto Take Your Dollar, and you uphold them, you put them on the pedestal. But the Lord said, do you not know that I would choose the poor of this world that's rich in faith? That's why Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Because folly said in great dignity. You know? Verse 18, wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. Right?
Verse 5. Verse 5. Ecclesiasticus 11 and 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown.
Right. Read that one more time, Bible.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of has worn the crown.
So many kings have sat upon the ground, and many not thought of have won the crown. The prime example is King David. Remember when the prophet Samuel was supposed to go to Jesse's sons? He went to every son, but David laughed. Why? Because of David's stature. Because of David was a keeper of the sheep. And guess what David became? The king of all of Israel. David is a prime example that there have been some that have been, I won't say he's lowly, because that's a good occupation to be a shepherd. But he wasn't esteemed as someone would look at his brothers. Because the Lord said, you look at the outer appearance, but I look at the inward parts of a man. So people look at our outer appearance, but the inward parts, because they have no clue that we're going to get crowned. They have no clue that we are here for salvation, that we're a royal priesthood. Can you give me on 1 Samuel 2 and 5? 1 Peter 2 and 5 over the show? What are? Royal priesthood, man.
It's 1 Peter 2 and 5. They also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house,
right?
And a holy priesthood.
And a holy priesthood.
To offer up spiritual sacrifice and acceptable to Yahawah.
Acceptable to Yahawah.
By Mashiach.
By Mashiach. We are lively stones and royal priesthood. What do you mean lively stones? We're building up the third temple. Yahawah already laid the foundation. What it say in Romans? He said, I will not build upon another man's foundation. That's what Paul was talking about. But nonetheless, he laid the foundation for you to build on. Because we are lively stones. And what's the head? The roof. That's Yahawah. Yahawah, forgive me. Yahawah is the chief cornerstone which the builder refused. They're not willing to build up that spiritual third temple. But it said make yourself a spiritual sacrifice, a living sacrifice, right? They're not willing to do that because they're not willing to sacrifice who they are right now. They want to be who they are right now and serve the Lord. You can't do that. So they're not willing to sacrifice. You know?
I got Psalms 138 and 6. Though the Lord is high, yet he have respect unto the lowly, but the proud knoweth afar off. It says, so like we're going into how it says here in Ecclesiastes 11 and 5, many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of had worn the crown. It just reminded me of Psalms 138 and 6. For though Yahawah is high, yet he have respect unto the lowly, those that deny themselves with no reputation, you know, that doesn't have richly apparel,
right?
You know, garments of
the godly apparel.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right, man.
Poor, rich in faith.
It's crazy because People will look down on us, but they'll look at up at Clefto take your dollar. I saw that precept about the wicked scribes and Pharisees coming. But the thing is, what did Yahawashi say? He said, whom did you go in the wilderness to find? One in godly apparel, or one that shaketh the reed? Because they said that John the Baptist came out the wilderness eating locusts and honey. He had camel's hair. He had camel's hair as his apparel. Camel's hair is not soft. Camel's hair is not something that kings wear. So even John the Baptist wore camel's hair. Even John the Baptist lived in the wilderness. He wasn't a man of arrayed in godly apparel. But you will look up the Clefto Take Your Dollar, T.D. Snakes, and Joel Osteen. So they have a humongous building, which the scripture said the Lord don't dwell in buildings made with hands, but you still go there, right? The Lord said that it's easier to fit a camel through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, but you'll still go there because he makes you believe you can still live the same life you live and the Lord will accept you. No, it don't work that way. You gotta give up something for the Lord in order for you to get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You gotta give something up. It's not for free. You have to sacrifice something for the Lord. You see, the Lord sacrificed his own son. Think about that. The Lord sacrificed the only begotten son. And you're not willing to sacrifice anything for the Lord? You're crazy.
So this is the thanks the Lord get to get this that we have. This is the thanks the Lord get to sacrifice the son.
It's the thanks we give.
I got you right here.
Go ahead.
It says, Philippians 3:8. Yeah, doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahawashi, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, do I count them but dung that I may win Yahawashi.
Facts. Facts. Now going back to that Sirach that you had.
Sirach 11:6. Many mighty men have been greatly disgraced,
Keep going.
and the honorable delivered into their man's hands.
So let's go back to saying there be a king that's crowned. There be one that sit upon the ground that no one ever thought that he would be crowned. So in other words, many great men or honorable men, talking about the nation of Israel. Because remember, every time the Lord brought a prophet on the scene, we were still in captivity. So the prophets went into captivity as well. Who do you think the great and noble men the Lord's talking about? I'm gonna say the elders and I'm gonna say the elders and great men and like-minded men in there. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that about myself, because the scripture said let another man exalt thee, but I ain't worried about exaltation. I'm just worried about salvation. That's all I care about right now. The Lord would. I know I'm exalted when I get that crown on my head. That's when I know I won. You know.
Sirach 11:7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Yeah, you good. Sirach 1:18. Sirach 1:18.
Sirach 1:18.
Matter of fact, you get Sirach 1:18. You get wisdom Solomon. Yeah, that's a good one. Because when you have it, draw second Esdras 9:27. No, 9:7. Forgive me. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works. Yeah, faith without works is dead, right? And by faith, whereby ye have believed. That's another one to put with that John, that James. Second Esdras 9:8. Shall be preserved from the sad perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them. I have sanctified them for me from the beginning, which is why we're only able to do this because the Lord sanctified us. We've done nothing to be accepted. So the YAHAWASHI for the RAWACHAA QADASH. Yeah, Wisdom Solomon 5, 14 through 16. Up to SHAM. Read that from. Let him read Sirach first. Yeah.
Sirach 1:18. The fear of the Lord is the crown of wisdom.
The fear, it says the fear of the Lord is the crown of wisdom. So knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's the crown of wisdom, right? But it says by wisdom has the kingdom been established, right? Go ahead.
Making peace and perfect health.
Making peace and perfect health, going back to the laws, and making peace by what? What it says, thou shalt not rob, thou shalt not kill or murder, as they say. Thou shalt not covet thy brother. That's another way from a peace because you have laws for that, statutes for that. If someone steals, then then they will have to replenish back what they stolen. If a man, two men quarrel, and one man's life is taken, there's a city of refuge until the family can come to some type of agreements on what should happen. It's like there's laws for that, right? Functionality. Good.
Both of which are the gift of Yahweh, and the enlargeth the rejoicing that love him.
Right, and enlarges the rejoicing of them that love him. So that's the gift of the Lord. So wisdom is a crown of life. It's crazy. It's like you crown right now with wisdom, but people have to see you with a physical crown to see that you have the wisdom. You get what I'm saying? They have to see you with a crown to even think that you're noble. To even think that they call LeBron James King James. Why is that? Oh, because he's the king of the court. So you have to be of some type of status. You have to display something in order for them to say you're some type of nobility, right? The movie Tears of a Son with Bruce Willis, the Igbo tribe. There was someone in that tribe that those mercenaries kept trying to kill. He claimed that he was a descendant of the Israelites. They said that in the movie. He said he was from the Igbo tribe, so they knew that already. But him being saved by mercenaries, they would never think that he was a noble individual till they told him that. You know what I'm saying? So they had to see you draped in garbs and having all this costly apparel on, a ring, and you got the crown, the diadem, and you smelling good, and you have this what they call it, this long train behind you, like how women when they have the train when they're in the wedding, the king will have that. You have to have all these servants around you to see them. Right? Crazy. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 14. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind.
Facts.
Like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm.
Like a soap stuff.
Like a smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a gust that tarrieth but a day.
So when the scripture says that this is only temporal, but that which is coming is everlasting, so all of this wickedness, all this ungodliness, all of this is going to be like a smoke in the wind, a froth in the wind, a guest that was at a dinner. You're not going to remember it anymore, right? Go ahead up.
Verse 15. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord.
So, hey, remember what the scripture says? It says, you have your consolation on this side. So that's why I say, it says, set up your treasures up in heaven where man and moth will not eat.
So that treasure above.
Exactly. Because the things here are only temporal. You can't take it with you anyway. But the things that's coming from above is everlasting.
See, that's what we always say. I glorify everything that's going to diminish.
Yeah, our people glorify everything that's going to diminish, and that's why they're going back to the guide. They're aimlessly going nowhere. Right.
Vain of the ungodly is vain. And the hopes of the ungodly is vain. That's vain.
Let's make America great again. That's vain because at that time you was in shopping. Our people put the hats on it. They don't even understand it. But at the same time, ignorance is bliss. But they also tell you ignorance of the law is no excuse either. You want a red light, they're gonna write you a ticket anyway. So the Lord has so they will rather obey man's law, but they don't want to obey God's law. But then when it gets bad for them, that's when they want to call on the Lord. They want to treat the Lord like a 911 call. Oh, my house is on fire. Let me down 911. That's how they treat the Lord.
They want a catastrophic event.
Yeah. When catastrophic events occur, that's when they want to call on. Right? When it's all fine and dandy, they can care less. Y'all don't even know his name, right? But then when things go bad, how you gonna call us? How you gonna call on help from someone whose name you don't even know, right? It's crazy.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15. But the righteous live forevermore.
Right.
Their reward also is with the Lord.
Right.
And the care of them is with the Most High.
Facts. Go ahead.
Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom.
That's the point I wanted to get to. Go ahead.
And a beautiful crown.
So we're gonna get that crown. We're already crowned with wisdom. It said that. But we're gonna get that physical crown. Right? Go ahead.
And a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand.
Mm-hmm. So how is you in America saying that you're a king and you're a queen? So how is that? Well, even the establishment that you live in, your dwelling is in your own. You bought the house, you don't own the lot. Your whole life, you always had someone that you had to go to Oh, that they had to pay you something unless you were like an entrepreneur or something like that, right? But you don't run a country. You're not ruling the world. You can't really call yourself a king. You're not a president. You're not an emperor. You're not a prime minister, right? So, like, you can say in your mind you're the king of your own domain, your own life. That's fine and dandy. But you're not changing any laws. You're not moving people like that. You know what I'm saying?
And we're not blessed because the true meaning of blessed is when someone is bound down.
Right. You're not blessed, man. You're just privileged. No such thing as blessed. How the hell you blessed in the land that your ancestors were captives? Our people are so far freaking gone, bro. That's why when I see heinous crimes that happen to our people, I don't cry. I don't shed a tear. Because I know the Lord did it. Now I know. I don't care how pretty she was. I don't care how young the baby was. All of that.
All reference to the Lord.
The Lord did it. The Lord said.
Hey, he say, Proverbs 16:4. I created things for
right. I, the Lord God, created all things. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. The Lord created that. The Lord said, I create good and evil. So the Lord created both things. If some evil happened to you, the Lord did it. It's a reason. It's a reason. Hell, he ain't gotta have a reason. He can do it if he wants to. Right? Remember about the man that was blind? They said, who did sin in his past life? His mother or his father? They didn't know about reincarnation. So the same people dwelling here today, the same people that were either in shackles or had the whip. Same people. That's why the Lord said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Is Israel a homeborn slave? Our people have the Stockholm Syndrome mentality. They so happy to think they accept it. It'll never be accepted. You only being tolerated because you've been tamed, you've been domesticated. So because you walk around, speak English, you speak proper, you wear a tuxedo, you know, you cross your legs, you shave your head bald, you don't grow your beard, you know, hey Tom, you go play golf, you hang out with your friend, you go get latte. That don't mean nothing. You ain't moving and shaking nothing. They gonna always have in the back of their head, yeah, we had you in slavery. Always and forever.
Wisdom of Solomon 5.
And that reminds you what your movies in Black history. Go ahead.
And 16. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand.
Woo!
And with his right hand shall he cover them.
With his right hand shall he cover them. The right hand of righteousness. You're gonna get that crown too. So going to the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, you give me I think it's first Timothy 4 and 8. Hold that on deck. Because we spoke about how we're crowned with wisdom, but I'm going to go into how the Levites, the royal priests, used to look, and I want you to have a vision of how we're going to look in the kingdom. So this is Sirach chapter 45, verse 6 through 12. He exalted Aaron, an holy man like unto him, even his brother of the tribe of Levi. An everlasting covenant he made with him, and gave him the priesthood among the people. He beautified him with comely ornaments, and clothed him with a robe of glory. He put upon him perfect glory, and strengthened him with rich garments, with breeches, with a long robe in the ephod. And he compassed him with pomegranates, and with many gold bells round about, that as he went there might be a sound, so you know when the priest coming. That's where they get that from, and the papacy. I can't believe I forgot the Pope. The Pope down with the papacy. When you see them walking down the aisle in the cathedral, they'll have the ball with the smoke coming out. That got that from here. That got that from the Bible. That as he went through, there might be a sound and a noise made that might be heard in the temple for a memorial to the children of his people, with an holy garment, with gold and blue silk and purple, the work of the embroider, with a breastplate of judgment, and with Urim and Thummim. The Urim and Thummim would be the crystal ball. That's what the Urim and Thummim was. That's why they make the what you call it, the 8 ball. You remember when you were younger? Hey, do you think she liked me? You shake it and they'll tell you yes or no. Yeah, that's where they kind of get that from. You know, that's what the Urim and the Thummim was. With twisted scarlet, the work of the cunning workman, with precious stones graven like seals and set in gold, the work of the jeweler, with a writing engraved for a memorial after the number of tribes of Israel. So who will be the royal priest from the nation of Israel? So who will be the royal people, the Israelites? That's why I had you bring out that First Peter. That First Peter 2 said we are lively stones, we are royal priesthood, because the priest originally was Levi. But the Lord gonna turn the whole nation of Israel into priests, because He's gonna put His laws in our inward parts so that we don't sin anymore. Because He made a covenant, which is a promise, a contract with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Regardless of whatever we did or did not do, the Lord still said the kingdom was for us because of what our forefathers did. So it ain't got nothing to do with you accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, none of that. It goes back to the covenant He made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so modern day Christianity is a farce. So Raw 18 and 20, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. What's up, brother? All right now. So in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Exactly. Examine thyself. Make sure that you still be in the truth, that you're doing that which is right. So I gave you the scripture on how the Levitical priests used to look, but we're going to be a nation of priests.
I got second dealing with crowns. He's going to give crowns. Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 42 and 43. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature.
Yeah. It's just the spirit, bro. Y'all just let the spirit flow, man. Why y'all acting like that?
And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of his hands he set crowns.
That's YAHAWASHI. That's YAHAWASHI, taller than all of them. 144.
And was more exalted, which I marvelously was great.
Right, because he sit on the right hand side of the Lord. Remember, humility comes before honor. So he was humiliated. He died for a nation that actually wanted to murder him. I mean, he was buffeted. They spat on him. Remember, there was one point where they hit him. They said, "Prophesy unto who smote you." So they made mockery of the Messiah. They made mockery of Yahawashi. That's why humility comes before honor. Honor without going through some tribulation. Well, it don't set you apart from the rest. Not everyone's willing. It's like not everyone's willing to go through a rigorous workout. But Ronnie Coleman said it. He said, "Yeah, buddy." He said, "Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but don't nobody want to lift no heavy ass weights." So what I'm saying, you want to be a great ball player, but you got to put in more. You got to put in more work in your off season. Like that's discipline. Discipline requires you to be at your absolute best when no one's watching, so that when it's time to show up, oh dang, what you been doing? What I'm supposed to do. It sets you apart. It's like a boxer who wants to go out and fight. If you've been out of commission for 6 months and you ain't did nothing, and you finally get a fight, hey, such and such, he got hurt in a car accident, you're a runner-up. Hey, can you fight within 2 weeks? If you haven't been training even on your off days, if you haven't been training in your leisure time, you ain't been ready in 2 weeks. But if you always been training, always been ready, when they call you, oh, I'll be ready in 2 weeks, that's discipline. Because no one watched you. The whole time, no one watched you train for 6 months. You finally got that call and you showed up. Everybody wants instant gratification. Everybody wants a pat on the back. Why don't you discipline yourself enough so that you can become a better version of what you were yesterday? Lucky. Go ahead, hold that. No, he didn't. That's gonna be the last one.
Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 44 and 45. So I asked the angel and said, "Sir, what are these?" And he answered and said unto me, "These be they that have put off the mortal clothing."
Right. So that's how the old man.
Yeah.
You know, we shed the old man off like a snake skin. You know, get up off. Go ahead,
These be they that have put off the mortal clothing.
Facts.
And put on immortal.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Read it again.
And put on immortal.
Right.
And have confessed the name of Yahawah, Hashem Yahushai. Now are they crowned and receive alms.
Right. So it said these are those who stood so stiffly and confessed the name. Because you remember Acts the 5th chapter, what did they say to Peter? They said, "Did we not tell you straightly not to preach or prophesy in his name? You bring much like contention amongst us. We ain't gonna stop it. That's why we out here. The name compelled us to come out here, man. We're disciplined in doing this. It ain't like we just come out here once a week. Did we go back in the world and do everything you guys are doing? Not saying what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with going out, getting a bike, going to a billboard and playing some pool with some brothers or something. But it's like, if that's what you're constantly doing, extracurricular activities, then you're putting much more time in your pleasures and your desires rather than you refining yourself. In my leisure time, man, I'm looking at news. I'm working out a little bit because I only got one body. I never know when it may happen right now. Because we're gonna be like pilgrims in that day. I say because you're gonna look stronger, but like you never know when you may have to run. You never know when you may have to pull yourself up over a wall. Most people can't do a pull-up or a push-up. I'm not saying you gotta be a gladiator, but you never know a time when you may have to use your primal instinct, but because you've been so sheltered with AC and automatic cars and air conditioning, you don't even know what it's like to have to run a quarter mile or have to do a pull-up to save your life from a bear or a jaguar. You saw people like they have no idea that you're still a primate. You're still a primate. So take care of yourself as well. I kind of went somewhere else with that, but just saying in general, discipline yourself. What you eat, your sleeping, your water, you drink, the things you ingest physically and spiritually and mentally, your food for thought, the people you hang around, the music you listen to, the shows you watch, all of that has some type of effect on your body. On a physiological level, it can really deteriorate you, So you have to learn how to get away from the urge of instant gratification and statuses and stuff like that. Because if you need others to validate you, you're not living for yourself, you're living for others. And the only time you should ever live for others is if it's for your family.
That man, please.
That's man pleasers. Man pleasers. Yep, it's man pleasers. Right. That's man pleasers. Trendsetters. You say nutrient, everybody's gonna follow me. They're not following you for who you are. They're following you for what you're doing. You're entertaining them. They don't really care about you. Same thing with the NBA. Go ahead, Doc. Close out. Preset line. How you good, Doc?
2 Timothy 4:8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord and righteous judge shall give me at that day.
And that goes back to the feast of people. So we know we already crowned with wisdom. So it's gonna be a day where the Lord's gonna crown us with those crowns, man. We talking about a royal priest. It's crazy. They say the Lord gonna bring his kingdom here on earth. If he's a king, they mean that there's gonna be royal priests from the nation of Israel. I'm looking to be one of the royal priests, man. Y'all can have all this. Hey, I give you mine. You can have it all. Because it's not yours. You can't take it with you anyway. It even says it. A man shall work all the days of his life and leave it to someone that's not worthy. That's like a man spending his entire life to become a billionaire, and his son just spends it on hookers and drugs and stuff like that. It's nothing. So you lived your whole life for nothing. Where's your legacy? You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all vanity. Unless you can leave it to someone, then it's worth it. But if you can't, then what do you waste your whole time, your whole life for? So that's what it's like having traditional values and morals. You pass it down to your sons and to your daughters, and then you have a big family based upon certain traditions, certain morals, certain customs. But you can't do that today, right? Because we live in Babylon. So they looking to be crowned on this side. They want their crowns on this side. They want people to look at them as if they're somebody. I know that corruptible. Let me get that. That corruptible crown. That's beautiful. Go ahead.
And not to me only, but unto all them that also love his appearing.
That love his appearing. Because his appearance is going to be what? Glorious. Matter of fact, can you give me 1 John? We got to read soon. Can you give me 1 John? I'm going to read that one. 1 John 3:1. Strive for the masteries. Bro, you cannot make this up. Didn't you just say something about mastery? Strive for the crown, corruptible crown. This brother name is Strive for the Masteries 144. You just can't make it up, bro. Can't make this stuff up. I'm going to read that, though. Galatians 1:10. For do I not persuade men? Going back to men, please. For do I not persuade men? or Yahawah, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of a Mashiach. Said Paul defends his ministry. I don't know what it can. Oh, okay, okay, I see what you did. It's all good. It's all good. That's what you did. Yeah, exactly. No, you good. You good. Exactly. Exactly. So, in other words, we're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We tell you what you need to hear. That's it. I want cookies. I want ice cream. No, you need to eat your fruits and veggies. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with what you want, but what you need is more profit. That's what's wrong with the society. People lean more on what they want rather than what they need. And what they want isn't profitable, which is why in the end they're looking around saying, oh my God, I wasted so much time. It was all a lie. No, it was never a lie. I'm sorry. You knew it was a lie. You wanted to make that lie a reality. It turns out it was nothing. That's what it was. It was a lie. That's why they call it the American dream. It's a dream. It's a dream, people. Now it's a nightmare, but it's a dream. Everyone can have a white picket fence with a 2-car garage with Timmy and Susan, and then you have the mother and the father, and they get married, holy matrimony, and they live with each other forever. That's not today. They don't promote that. They promote get the bag. Matter of fact, they say prostitution is illegal, but what's OnlyFans? That's crazy. It's legal prostitution. They're just making the benefit off of it. What happened to the prohibition? You can't sell alcohol here. Why? Because they couldn't profit. Now they sell it because they can profit. You can't sell weed. Why? Because they couldn't profit. Now they can sell it. You can profit. That's the world we live in, man. It's all about money. They don't care. They're making so much money off of the court system. It's ridiculous. Like Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife. All that money. She wanted 20 grand a month for her daughter. But she claimed that I had people in my ear that told me to leave him and this and that. You on the TV on the screen saying this, but Tyrese is like, if that's the case, why you still got these lawyers hounding me for this 20 grand a month? You make 100 grand a year. And he said off the papers, I cut you a check every month for $2,600 because I love my kids. You out here making it seem like I was a bad guy. That's the point I'm getting at. So he said he was married. He was with this woman for 5 years. He never cheated. Gave this woman everything. She never loved him. She loved the lifestyle. And Tyrese said it. It's a reason why I made a song called Love Transaction. He said when Mary J. Blige made her music, it's because of her exes. He said when Adele made her song for her ex, it was for her exes. So Tyrese said when I made these songs, it was because of my ex. Now she's lying and he told the truth on why she loved. She never loved him. She just loved the lifestyle. So she'll say, I made a mistake. I did this and that. Behind the scenes, lawyers still knocking at his door trying to get that 20 grand. That's why the scripture says all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, man. It's even tested. They even done a test. There's 30% of men taking care of children that's not their own, but they think it's their child. Come on, man. This place is through. That's why we say we look for a new heaven and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And it's even sad. It's even sadder. What's the worst case when a man find out it's not his child, but then the court still order him to pay for that child. That's unrighteous decree. I'm not going to pay for some other man's child. Oh, you signed the birth certificate. You want to know why they say that? Because the government created a monster they don't want to pay for. Who want to pay for all these single baby mamas? So y'all pay for it. Fuck out of here. That's wicked, man. That's wicked, man. Oh, yeah, prophesy, man. That's it. You talking about how wicked this place is, man. The Lord will come back and clean all this up, man. So, yeah, it needs to clean it up, brother. But, hey, know you an Israelite, man, all right? You're an Israelite, man. All right? Just know that. Okay. Oh, hey. Hey, keep your head above water. The sharks say, all right? All right, man. We're going to close out, brother. Take care. All right?
What we learn is never give a bitch the benefit of the doubt. Never give a bitch the benefit of the doubt. Doubt the benefit of the bitch. And that's
facts. No, that's facts. Yeah. That's facts. Yeah, I like that. Say it again.
Never give a bitch the benefit of the doubt.
Why you mumbling? Say it loud.
Never give a bitch the benefit of the doubt. Doubt the benefit of the bitch.
So in other words, don't trust her as far as you can see it. Okay then. Facts. Don't trust her as far as you, and guess what? He ain't with a 24/7. So what the hell you? That's my point. Don't trust us. This is how I look at it. If you don't believe in God, if you don't fear God, it's a difference between people saying that and then me seeing them live their life.
What happened to Tyrese? He stumbled at the beauty of the woman.
She was beautiful. Yeah, but Tyrese was traditional. Tyrese even said it. I come from a divorced family. You come from a divorced family. I didn't want to have that. That's why he married her. And he said for 5 years he didn't cheat. He didn't do nothing wrong. He did everything accordingly. And that woman still wanted to leave because she thought it was greener on the other side. What man gonna want to follow that? After finding out you broke up your family because you want to be tip-top famous, you left your 1-year-old daughter. She had to have her birthday without you separated, and you on here playing victim?
Now she got a relationship advice channel.
Now she got a relationship advice channel. You a divorcee. What? Like what's the word? Tia Tamara, whatever her name is. She said she graduated from marriage. How the hell you graduate from marriage to the divorce? You failed. The graduation of marriage is when you die old with your partner. That's the graduation. What are you talking about? You dropped out talking about something. You got honors. Bitch, you ain't got no double honors. You a junkie. You a flunky. That's what I call them. They always leave the man because they think they can go back out here in the world and get a man on the same caliber. All men see is that you such and such baby mama. You left him. You think I'm gonna give you what he want? Only thing you can give me is some box. And they're like, that ain't what I want.
Basically, what she was about her giving relationship advice is all those things Tyrese wasn't. She claimed that's good for advice for people.
Yeah, but she not even living what she said. She not even living what she preaching. Right? It's all false. It's all vanity. But we're gonna close out. But hey, even Elder said it though. It goes back to like you said it. Looking at a woman for her beauty. He was a beta, bro. He was a beta. He was too soft. He put her up in a pedestal. You can't do that.
So anything you put, you have no choice but to look down when you put anything up.
You have no choice but to look down when you put everything up. Damn. Okay. Okay. You have no choice but to look down. And what they said, if you treat her like a celebrity, she treats you like a fan. You know what I'm saying? But he was raised that way to be soft, to be loving, be caring. There's nothing wrong with that with your wife. You still gotta be a man too. You gotta put your foot down. You still gotta let her know this is my program, or you can go somewhere else. He made her the program, but she wasn't all in. She played her role. She played her role as, oh, this is what I want. Then when I got you locked in, I'm gonna take it all away. It's crazy because in this society we live in, if you just want to get your rocks off as a man, oh man, this is like it's like Celebration Station. It's like chicken cheese as a kid. But if you want to have a family, then you gotta go. You gotta be a passport girl. You gotta go somewhere else. These women over here are too defiled. They're pineal gland are calcified. They have no morals. They think they're men. So they want to go out here and be like men. Then when they get to a certain age, they want to settle down. It's like it don't work that way. Listen here, you can't be out here treating yourself like a Hertz rental, but then you want to get 2023 MSRP retail prices. I don't think so, my love. And even Kelly Blue Book said you in the wrong book. You need to go to another book. You need your own book. You got too many mileage on you, too much damage. You too broken. I'm not here to fix another man's broken heart. He need to heal you, right? Con, you know what it's like? It's like getting bit by a venomous snake. They can only give you the serum depending on what snake it was. Everybody always say, what kind of snake was it? Because I can't give you the antidote unless I know what kind of snake it was. So only she can be healed from that man. We can't heal you. Go on somewhere. First Esdras 4:26. Hey, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Right. And that was Tyrese. Jakes, you know, we see it all.
Yeah. I'm a comedian. I got my comedy special out right now. It's a black owned distributor streaming now. All right. And, but I'm gonna say y'all move for free. I want to shoot a comedy.
No. It's just not entertainment, man. This is real talk.
No, I ain't talking about y'all stuff.
No, well, actually, we should have closed out. So we don't want to partake in this. We just want to okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, hey. No, you good. No, you good. Right.
I'm still gonna see y'all move, but I want y'all to watch.
I'm sorry.
You ain't gotta
no means no, right? Yeah. All right, man.
I tell you, give you.
No, you solid, but we good.
If you like come out, we'll give you.
All right, brother.
Okay.
All right, brother. All right, take care, man. God bless, man. Yes, sir. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. We're gonna close out. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So with that being said, we pray you was edified and fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Come Allah, walk of the ball, shalom, and you right up. Strive for the masteries 144. Women are only as faithful as their options. So is the man that has many as well. With that being said, shalom, barakathon, come Allah, walk of the ball.
Shalom.
Shalom. That was 210. And you know that.